Hey, this is Mark, and today I've got an S7 Edge that has come in for data recovery because it has no touch. So what I've done so far is I know that this little guy right here provides voltages related to touch, and all of them are present, but I'm supposed to be getting right here about negative 4.4, and I'm getting negative 2.6. So that is probably the problem. Now, as far as I can tell, there's nothing wrong on the line, so I'm going to guess that this chip has failed internally, and I've seen this happen before, so that's going to be the first thing I do to try and solve this one, is replace this chip. Now, different variants of the S7 and S7 Edge come with either this chip or the Max, what was it? The Max 77838. So I'm going to replace this one, which incidentally, this is the one that I've seen fail before, with the Max 838, and see if that solves for touch. All right, that looks good. And in this orientation, the dot went in the bottom right. Just throw a little bit more flux down under that chip. All right, so I will test this in the customer's housing with their screen. Come on, get in there. Get in there. There we go. So with the S7, the only solution to getting data out of these is to make it boot again with working touch and image and USB communication, because these are encrypted by default. No more chip-off fun with the Samsungs, at least not with the newer ones. Oh, come on. Having a hard time getting that dock connected. Connect the dock first. There we go. Alright. Lay you down. There we go. Now let's see if this battery has any juice on it, if I can get away with not using the DC power supply. Nope, no juice on the battery, so we're going to power off DC power supply just for testing. So I'm going to connect my black just right to this, because that's a nice big thing I can grab onto that's ground. Hook up the positive to my wire. Okay, let's see. Alright, we're booting up now. And hopefully we're going to have touch. This thing's going to take a little bit to boot. Right, now we got the old Verizon logo. We're almost there. Look at those pixels. I love these LED screens. Glad Apple finally changed, even though that's gonna drive up the cost of screen changes for the what is it, the iPhone 10 has the LED screen. It just looks so much better. Alright, so now we're booted up, but still no touch. Boo. Alright, let's see if we are still low on that line that should read negative 4.4. So I'm still getting negative 2.6 on that line. All right. Boo. This is going to take a little more work. So I'm going to go through, do some more troubleshooting, kind of get on the right track, and then I'll pick this recording back up. Okay, so I am back with this S7 Edge, and I have already solved it, so I'll just kind of walk through how I got this solved. So the problem was it was booting up and it seemed like touch was not working, and I replaced the chip that provides some of the voltages to the LCD, and then I started looking at like the other lines on the LCD connector that could affect this, and a lot of them ran to PMIC. And then another thing I noticed was that it didn't seem like touch was really the problem, because once the phone was booted up, it would not respond to any button presses either. So you couldn't turn the screen on and off with the power button. You couldn't wake it back up with the home button. So it seems like it was just freezing once it booted, rather than it being an actual problem with touch. And it was getting a bit warm, so I did some freeze spray, and PMIC was heating up a bit, so I just went ahead and changed it, put a new one on there, and now this one boots up and touch works, and I've already pulled all the data off of it and let it sit for a while, and it does seem to be stable. So I'm just gonna boot it up now just to show that it is working. Another thing I noticed was that when it would boot up before, it would stay on for maybe a minute or two, but then it would turn back off, probably because of the heat. I wasn't able to find any lines that were shorted, so that's still kind of a mystery, but something was definitely up with PMIC. All right, so now I'm booted up and I've just put in the unlock for the passcode, and now you can see it's booted up and unlocked now. So touch is working, and this one is solved. So yeah, sorry I didn't record the work that I did earlier, but really it was just a bunch of probing around, measuring voltages, and then taking off the old PMIC and putting a new one on. So another one solved. Thanks for watching.